Hello, I'm back, and I'm here at the Villager Hotel, which is starting to look like a giant ugly box. But that can be fixed by some decorations and some decorations, basically. Windows, columns, that sort of thing. But I have been working on it. Excuse me. I've been getting a few villagers, weaponsmith, toolsmith, mason as well. These guys are pretty good, and I've got a cheaper mending book, like I wanted. Oh, it's even cheaper now for some reason. I'm gonna have to get one of those in a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna need a mending book because everything has mending so far. I even have a fortune mending pick. But what I'm gonna do today requires me to have a shovel. But it's going to be kind of a boring thing to do, because I couldn't particularly think of anything. So my only idea was, I can't remember if I said I was going to do this in the last one, but this time I'm going to make a path from here over to my house, and then use that path main road thing as a starting point to build a town or a city. But that is going to be let's see if I got some to show you quickly. Don't do it. No. So basically, I'm just going to have pretend that's a slab up a bit. That's a slab up half a block. So I'm going to have the road like that. The stone bricks are going to be level with the floor, and then the smooth stone slab is just going to be on the bottom half of that. And I've lost that block. Oh well. So the path is going to be quite boring. It's going to be quite long as well, so it's going to take a while. So my plan today was I'm going to talk about something, and hopefully I'll put a speed time lapse behind it, or I'll just show a quick clip and then jump to it finished. So I'm going to talk about something specific that I have been thinking about, and I'll tell you in a second when I start, if I manage to get it right. So hopefully I've got that working, and maybe you're watching a time-lapse thing. If not, I'm going to have to edit it into some kind of interesting footage, because making a path can be quite boring, so it's going to be the same thing for that whole distance. So hopefully you're watching that. But the thing I wanted to talk about right now is a theory about Minecraft lore, because I've been watching and reading a lot of stuff about Minecraft lore, and it's given me an idea, well, a bunch of ideas, and my own take on it. So if you want to skip this, that's fine if that's not your thing, but this is going to be a short video anyway, so it will make a short video even shorter. So we shall get into it. So all the theories that I'm looking at, they all focus on some specific part of the game as a basis for their theory. Like there's the apocalypse theory, the dream theory. It's quite a good one actually, where creative is a good dream and survival is a nightmare. But most of the theories that I've read don't really... Well, personally, this is all personal opinion, by the way. The theories that I've read don't cover as much as I would expect them to, so I've had an idea that covers quite a bit of the game, but I could be completely... Well, not wrong, because you can't be wrong, but completely off target, I guess. So the theory that I've come up with covers the game from start to finish, and by start, most people would assume I mean spawning into the world, but no, I mean before that even. So you get to the title screen, you click start game or play game, whatever it is. I should know by now, but it takes you to the world select screen. My theory is that the game starts there and when you're starting off, you're playing as some kind of non-physical psychic entity that has control over which, well, basically they can travel between universes, and they have some kind of really big power. And the screen select, the world select screen I mean, is the first action that you perform in the game. So you go to the create new world button, and it gives you a bunch of things to select from. And in this theory, this screen is actually some kind of search engine. So if you have a bunch of different universes, there would be infinite universes. So you can use this screen or this interface to define your search, and it will return to you the world that best fits your search. So you get options like you can search for a world where the physics say that fire can't spread, or you can choose a world with no structures, and there's a bunch of different options you can click. And the theory is that, well, this is just part of the theory, the beginning of the theory is that you are searching for a world that you want to go to, and basically this is the level select screen and your character selection as well. So the options of what game mode you want to play on is choosing what kind of character you want to play as. So if you click onto creative, say, then you will continue to have all the powers that you have in the world that you normally would have. But if you go into survival, then you go in to the world with limited powers, so you're not able to create blocks from nothing, but you do still have some powers. Whereas if you go on adventure, you go with no powers, and you're basically playing as someone from that world. No, with the powers of someone from that world. And then you click on the create button, and it finds your world, and you spawn in. So with this theory, between clicking that button and spawning into the world, there is quite a lot that is happening. So the first thing that happens is a physical form is found for you in some way, which I'll go on more about later. But the physical form is found, and then you're put into this world for the first time. And going into this world for the first time creates quite a lot of energy. So this energy is put out into the world as the Ender Dragon, and some portals are created. The portal in the end and an overworld portal. I couldn't really decide. Maybe it was created in the stronghold, or the stronghold is created around it. I think I like the stronghold created around it better. But yeah, all the energy goes into creating the dragon and the portals, and you're placed into the world. But it doesn't choose a random place for you to spawn. Most people, I think most people think of it like you have your spawn location, and then when you jump into that portal in the end, that puts you into your spawn location. But in this theory, you are created in that end portal with all the energy that's made, which then transports you to the overworld spawn area. So that's why you go back to that spawn area for every time you create a new world, or if you die without a spawn. So the end is linked quite closely to the original search engine bit. It's like the end is like a conduit for these non-physical entities to be able to get into the world. And so then you're in the world, you're playing as you chose it, you're in the world that you chose. But why? So you go through the world, eventually you get back to the end, and you defeat the end dragon, which puts the energy into an egg form, and then you jump into that portal. So anyone who's finished the end, anyone who's finished the game and who has seen those credits, I know that the first time I saw it I was confused, but it was like, it was really crazy. But I think that those two people talking in the end credits are also non-physical deity type people, like the player, who have the ability to teleport between different universes. And basically the whole thing has been a test about whether you should be allowed to use these abilities to travel between universes and create all the things you do. And the people who manage to pass the test are then able to do whatever they want in the game. So that's like the end game part. They're able to go back into the world, and they are able to live how they want. They're given free reign to do what they want, basically. There's no more guidance for them, because the game does have a progression. So eventually you will get to that part and go through that. So yeah, when you enter into the world, doing this test, you are given a physical form. This is another part of the theory. You are given a physical form which is created to host the non-physical deity type thing that you are controlling. And this part will link some of the mobs. So things like zombies and husks and drowned are actually physical forms left behind when the players or other other of these non-physical entities die. The body is left behind, and it's it still has the psychic force behind it, so it can still move around and stuff. And I guess skeletons as well, they would fit into that. But these these monsters are created by the physical form being left behind. So when you die, you spawn into a new physical form, perhaps from wherever you are. You were searching for the world to begin with, so you go back there, and then you go back into it with a new physical form. You could also argue that the zombie pigmen are these physical form remnants as well, but then that comes with the question of, what about when they're created through lightning? So you can strike a pig with lightning and it will turn into these zombie pigmen. But part of the theory is that the lightning doesn't usually happen when these non-physical beings are not in the world. So things like that can't transform. Well, they still can transform, but it doesn't happen when no one's in that world. So some things are more unstable and susceptible to the magic lightning, we'll call it. So things like villagers and pigs will transform more often than other things. So whatever it is that gets changed into the physical form that you can use as the player to walk around and play the game, whatever that is, it takes a lot more force to create. That's why when you're teleported there, the end portals and the ender dragon are created from the force that it takes. And these no whatever it is that gives you the physical force into the to become the player that you are to control the game, whatever it is takes a lot more force. And the final part of the theory is that because the end is so closely linked to wherever these non-physical beings came from, there is a question of Endermen. What about them? And what I think is that they are some of the beings who have not successfully completed the test. So I don't know, they got lost or they failed to open the portal again or something, but the Endermen are all these beings who failed the test. And that about covers the theory. So if you have any, it was just a thing I thought of, so there's probably a whole bunch of holes in the theory and it wasn't very thought out, but I thought it was pretty good. So yeah. So I obviously underestimated how much smooth stone slabs I would need, but I will continue on with that path once I get some of this put together, and hopefully that, what I hope will be a time-lapse voiceover thing, worked out well. There was a lot going on there, so that was my theory, that the player, as I'm playing now, is the physical being of a non-physical god-like creature from another universe who can jump into all kinds of universes. And I think the most corroborating piece of evidence for that is the discussion in the poem in the end credits. A lot of what the people are saying line up with this theory that I have, and probably didn't explain very well, but anyway. But yeah, a lot of what they're saying seems to align with that. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I got bored of making this path, so I'm going to finish it at some other point. I'm sorry if you wanted to see that, but that's how it is. It will be finished for next time, so we'll start on next time. We'll start on a nice walk along that path. You'll get to see it. Basically, what I'm doing is the stone slabs with, or the smooth stone slabs down this side with stone bricks along the edge of that, and that's going to stretch all the way across. I think I used 6 stacks just for what I did, so I'm going to need to get a lot. I have a cobblestone. I'm going to smelt that and try to put that across it all. And I could go mining for some stone. Then I'd have to smelt that again, make all the slabs, and then take it across. Put it all over. So yeah, tell me what you think about that theory. It's not very well thought out, so if you didn't like it, and you can tell me in a constructive way, then tell me. But if you have anything to add to it as well, also tell me. But that's it for now.